Hello, Fredrik. Thank you for agreeing to talk with me today. It's a real pleasure seeing you online after a long time because last time we met was before COVID. Um, Fredrik, until recently, you were the dean of Lund University Business School, and you're quite you left quite a happy dean because you finished your deanship with the Triple Crown. So now your school is ASCSB, EQUIS, and AMBA. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Could you maybe just introduce yourself briefly?
Yes, my name is Fredrik Andersson, and I have been at the school for a long time, coming through the ranks. I've been dean for 9 years, ending now at the turn of the year. I'm professor of economics, and I am a graduate of Lund, although I spent a couple of years abroad in my early research career.
Well, congratulations. So the purpose today was to really discuss for you as a dean, what were the benefits of going through this three accreditation process and maybe to discuss them. So the first question I would like to ask you is why did you decide to go for international accreditations?
I mean, historically, we were quite early, and this was before my time with EQUIS. And then in recent years, and that was during my time as dean, we worked with AMBA and ASCSB and ultimately successfully. I mean, going back to the term between the 90s and the aughts when we worked with and achieved EQUIS accreditation, one important motivation was to actually join the school, which was, it was actually transformed from a subunit of social science to a business school proper. An independent faculty at the university, and that was only one part of it. Of course, the whole package of the support from the local business and industry, forming networks, forming advisory boards. That whole process of forming a unified business school was very much facilitated by going through the EQUIS process at that point. And of course, supporting the development work that to meet ambitions in terms of strengthening the educational portfolio.
Yeah, because you're the second school in Sweden to be Triple Crown.
Yes.
So it's quite an achievement. So there is this aspect, let's say, of visibility of the schools. But
Yeah.
if we look at the quality process, which is really the highlight that we wanted to have, like, so you already embedded some quality process in the schools with EQUIS, as you were saying about the different boards and different steps. What did AMBA and ASCSB add in terms of quality to the process that you already had in place?
I think when going this last round, what we did and what we succeeded in doing was to get a little bit more formal in our quality processes and actually documenting the quality work that was done in education, not least, and thereby lifting, sort of picking up where it wasn't done properly. So by sort of softly formal processes in terms of course and program scorecards, being stringent about course evaluations and so on, faculty reporting, faculty activity reporting, relatively soft-handedly, but a bit more formal than was previously the case. And by being a bit more formal in this way, we succeeded, I think, in lifting, doing it a bit better and a bit more stringently. Actually picking up issues in the programs, in the courses, having a bit more substantive discussion with faculty members about performance and and so on.
And this lifting, was it a smooth process, or was it a difficult process internally?
I mean, to be frank, and somewhat self-congratulatory, I think we succeeded in making it relatively smooth by working not extremely quickly and being quite upfront about what we were trying to do. So, I mean, it's always uphill to be more formalistic in our world and to require more documentation. But I think we succeeded in doing it relatively softly, as I've said, and also motivating it as we went along. So there hasn't been a major uproar, and I think now, I mean, also the gradual, the fact that we had ACADEM, with them we worked with and received AMBA, and now finally ACSB, for most faculty members, and certainly for other stakeholders in the school, there is a sense of pride in what we have achieved. So that's also part of the motivation that we're actually succeeding to getting a bit, I mean, pushing these processes a bit while keeping people quite happy.
Thank you. So you were talking about like switching from, let's say, part of the university as a faculty to moving to a full business school, full standalone business school, and helping yourself with the EQUIS process. When you started in the school, because as you said, you were already EQUIS accredited. What were the biggest quality challenges that the school was facing, in your opinion?
I would say that the quality challenges the main quality challenges were that the quite informal way, the great leeway for faculty members in teaching and in research lacked the follow-up that is really desirable. So, I mean, the operation was pretty good before as well, and there was a strong engagement by faculty members and stakeholders and students. But nevertheless, getting a bit more of it on paper facilitated us pushing it one step further. And I think that goes away from, picking up some instances of bad performance, but also pushing a little bit all across, that people took note of what could be done better and did.
So this standardization, could you maybe give us a vision for maybe different example for different stakeholders of what was the impact for them? So, what was the impact on maybe the staff? What was the impact on the faculty? Could you maybe give a few examples on that?
Yes. I mean, in terms of faculty, over this period when we worked towards ACSB in particular, it was made more clear not only what was expected of them, but also how things are valued and appreciated. It became more clear by this rather soft but more formalized faculty reporting or faculty activity reporting that we've been working on. Also, faculty and staff working with the programs got a better support in seeing development, in sense that, so picking up how the evaluation process, student evaluations as teacher, we have something that we call the scorecard system where teachers finish a course by basically getting down pretty briefly, but nevertheless pros and cons and things that could be changed. Those supports have been very helpful for everyone involved, for the faculty members and everyone involved at the faculty level, for staff working with the programs, and for the students, and for in particular for the students, having the student who participate in various bodies reviewing our educational offerings and so on. This has made it more transparent and more clear what could be changed, what is changed, and what should be changed.
Thank you. Really interesting. So you have now ASCSB, EQUIS, and AMBA. If you had to give one main benefit for each of these accreditation on your school, like if you said like you started with EQUIS, so what would be the main advantage or the main benefit that you saw of EQUIS on your school, and the same for ASCSB and AMBA?
Yeah, I mean, for EQUIS, it was the first one, so it was really the marker of the fact that the Lund University School of Economics and Management is now and was becoming at that point a business school with the ambition of being a business school in the sort of international community of business schools. And of course, EQUIS pushed us in terms of internationalization, both prior to our first accreditation and in the following re-accreditation. So I mean, there's always been a commitment to internationalization within the school, but it was pushed quite strongly by EQUIS. AMBA, I mean, the main benefit of AMBA is, of course, that the program, the Master in Management program, which is the program accredited by AMBA, has been much more visible, I mean, to all stakeholders, but in particular, of course, it has made the program more visible for prospective students, but also internally and for our regional stakeholders, including within the university. It has been clear that this is a very interesting program, opening up a possibility for students with different background in a one-year setting, actually obtaining rather versatile business management basis that can be very, very helpful career-wise. And I mean that applies very broadly, but including within the university where the Faculty of Engineering has taken an interest in this being a possible build on their engineering programs. And finally, ASCSB, of course, I mean, that brings us to the triple crown status, but beyond that, I think the ASCSB has been very helpful in pushing this last round of quality improvement work that I have been talking about so far. It has pushed us to be a bit more stringent in the process, faculty processes, a bit more stringent in our work with the education portfolio in terms of actually assuring that the feedback loops are closed, in the sense that things that are picked up by students, by faculty, by stakeholders are being considered and that feed into changes in the programs and changes.
Great. Well, Fredrik, thank you so much for your time today. It was lovely speaking with you. I hope to have the pleasure of seeing you in person sometime soon.
Yeah, so do I, indeed.
Thank you. Bye-bye.